officially a racker. You are a racker. And while you were up there, I went on Show Pitch and I uploaded, video of me emceeing, to sort of join the MC ranks. And it's strange. I don't know if there's an issue or not because I haven't gotten any responses, but I am on there. So I'm trying to be open for business there. Hey, so we're going to keep powering on. We've got a great next topic as well that is around a solution, specifically in this case around security. And we have a couple of speakers that are actually going to sit here and do more of a panel discussion to keep it a little different and a little lively for you. Now, on this challenge with security, the e-commerce group basically are leveraging a solution which is the Rackspace Managed Cloud with AlertLogic. To give you a little bit more insight on it before I introduce our host for this event, let's watch a quick video.
One of our bigger products is rentalcargroup.com. It's a one-stop solution for car rental. We currently have the site in 32 languages. Rackspace was a very important step for us. Basically, we were in a shared hosting solution. Downtime was really an issue. Tech support was, not as good as we needed. We heard about the Rackspace fanatical support, so we reached out and we then got our first dedicated server. Since then, it's just been a growing experience, and it's been a fantastic experience because they've helped us to get where we are today. Within our company, we have web developers and we do customer service. That's what we have in-house. So to run a secure and fast website, if you start counting what you really need, that is a very costly enterprise. To be able to do what we do, we have Rackspace, because basically with Rackspace we have an amount of expertise that it would be impossible for us to get. We can dedicate ourselves to what we know and don't need to worry about our servers, about our network, about our uptime, about our security. It's good to be online, it's good to have a 24-hour shop, but that means somebody can break in at any time of day. So to be as secure as possible, that's where AlertLogic came in. What they do is they try to understand what you do, and they try to make you as secure as possible without losing any business. They're monitoring us 24/7. As soon as something happens, within 5 minutes they're taking action. The two companies actually could be part of my company, because when I talk to them, it's not like I'm talking to somebody else. It's just like I'm talking to my IT department, my security department, just trying to help us out.
All right, so please join me in welcoming our Chief Security Officer, Brian Kelly, and you'll introduce our other speakers.
Oh. Thank you, Ian. Well, this is an honor for me to moderate this panel today, this session. I'm joined on stage by Stephen, who we just met briefly on screen. Stephen is the Managing Director of the e-commerce group. Welcome, Stephen.
Welcome, thank you.
Also joining us is Misha. Misha is a co-founder and also the Chief Strategist for AlertLogic. So welcome, Misha.
Thank you, Brian.
So good to have you. Now I'm going to deviate for just a second, because as an old Air Force pilot, I couldn't resist the temptation to show another little 20-second video that I just think is really cool. So bear with me for a moment. So you may have recognized that's Stephen, our panelist up here, an aerobatic flyer. I used to fly like that as well, but it was never intentional. So that's very cool. Let me. And actually, one other thing too, I love the soundtrack, right? Because if you think about security, I mean, it truly is a danger zone for us. We need to be prepared. We need to know how to really navigate that airspace, if you will. And I think it takes a strong team to do so. So we're going to learn a little bit about that today. So I'm going to start with Stephen, and I know we got a glimpse of the e-commerce group on the screen, but just tell us a little bit more about what the e-commerce group does.
Okay, thank you. Basically, we are intermediates. We always look for opportunities around which we then build websites and promote them to the internet. The example given was Rent Car Group, and basically it's a one-stop solution for car rental on which we negotiated directly with major car rental brands in the world. We did other intermediates and also the local companies. So we do a price comparison so that the customer doesn't have to look all over the web and just can find everything about car rental in our website. And we do that with several products.
Okay. And then I want to dig a little bit now into kind of the technical solutions, but curious for the audience, I mean, what kind of technical solutions do you tap for the combined Rackspace Alert Logic team?
So we have the Fanatical support, the managed cloud, dedicated servers. Then we have from Alert Logic their complete package, basically the WSM, Web Application Firewall, Threat Manager, scanning, log manager. So basically everything to run a good and secure network.
Great, thanks, Stephen. Misha, how does Alert Logic complement and really extend the Fanatical support to the e-commerce group?
We're built for this, and the fundamental premise behind Alert Logic is that a lot of traditional applications are going to move out of corporate data centers and move somewhere else, and that somewhere else could be either outsourced data centers, could be hosting environments, could be cloud environments. And as a CIO, what I will be looking for is a single pane of glass across all of those environments, specifically built for those cloud and hosting deployments, right? There's a specific set of applications that run in these environments. It's web applications, it's databases, systems, networks, and so on. The security stack for that has to be purpose-built, and that's what Alert Logic does. And we really offer it as an end-to-end solution, including managed services, and in that way we align very closely with Rackspace. And in fact, whenever we escalate an incident, the incident is always escalated through Rackspace. Rackspace is always in line when we talk to our customers at Rackspace.
And I know one thing I often say to leadership teams and boards is, we know today there's a new normal in security, and we're not going to prevent incidents. We need to be very good at our ability to detect and respond. We'll do everything in our power to deter and make it difficult, but we've got to be world-class in our ability to detect and respond. And we know, Stephen, that incidents do occur then. I'm actually curious, maybe an example where the e-commerce group really had to kind of tap the resources that you're using to respond.
Things happen. Very recently, for example, we actually had a very busy night. People were scanning us all the time, obviously not with the best intentions. It ended up in actually a DDoS attack. So we got on the phone with Rackspace. Our environment was not responding. So about 10 minutes later, they managed to block off the attack, and everything came back online and seemed to work very, very seamlessly. But then suddenly the guy said, and that's not the kind of stuff you want to hear on the phone. So he's like, I'm seeing traffic here that's not normal. So the good thing about this was that we got the Linux team online, we got the network security support guys, the networking guys, my account manager. We called into Alert Logic. Everybody started checking their parts. So Linux team says everything's okay here. Guy at the firewall says I still see something here. Alert Logic says, oh, but this is normal. This is expected traffic. Mm-hmm. So it turned out being an okay case, a false alarm. But the nice thing was, like 20-25 minutes, we had all sorts of expertise, people, specialists in their area, all looking out for my environment, and it's just great to have them watching out for our company, basically.
Great, good to hear. So, Misha, we talk about threats today, right? And there's all kinds of buzzwords. Yes, they're advanced. Yes, they're persistent. Yes, they're sophisticated. Even to the point we were chatting earlier this morning, The signatures, for example, that we really relied on so heavily for many years in the past. Now it's questionable, really the value that those kind of signatures provide us. How is AlertLogic staying current?
You know, the way we approach the problem is we don't assume the signatures aren't going to work. In fact, I think signatures are a very viable technology, but not in isolation. We obviously have to use a lot of other techniques in order to identify attackers. We got to look at behaviors just as much as we look at static patterns. But it really comes down to not using the same policy that you use for your mobile phones, for example, that you use for your cloud applications. Obviously, the environments are very different, and the adversaries are very different as well. So in fact, one of the ways we track this is we have an intelligence team, and that team is really tuned to understand for a customer like Steven, what is their business, what are their assets. If somebody was to come after them, what would they go after? And other actors out there trying to come after them. All of that informs our decisions for what kind of coverage we're going to provide. And I'll give you an example. Just a couple of months ago, there was a lot of news stories around a vulnerability, and a lot of people were scrambling. Should we cover this? Is this a big issue? We had people that were in hacker channels observing what they're actually using to attack our customers, and it turned out that was a non-issue, but there was an issue that the media wasn't talking about that we did cover, and that provided the tuned security that a lot of customers miss. Now, should anybody maintain their own threat intelligence team? That's arguable, right? It's worth for us to do so, but is it worth for anybody else to do it just for their cloud application? It's probably a lot of overhead that they don't need to maintain, so we do that for our customers.
Yeah. I mean, the business of threat intelligence has really kind of come into its own in the last several years. I'm curious, and imagine some of the audience may have attended the RSA Security Conference just a few weeks ago in San Francisco. Big show, 33,000 attendees, hundreds and hundreds of technologies. One observation I had is it appears that, a lot of these technologies still seem as if they're addressing yesterday's problems. They're just not adequate to the threat as we understand it today. What's from AlertLogic's perspective? How do you see the future of the security?
We really think security is going to have to bifurcate, because we are seeing that IT environments are becoming much more specialized, right? The stack that you use to protect bring your device environment, right? Your tablets, your mobile phones, your endpoints is going to be very different than what you use to protect your cloud applications, your SaaS infrastructure, and so on. For many years, right, there were kind of behemoth security companies like Symantec and others, and before you did anything, you bought antivirus. That was the very first purchase you made, and that's not the case anymore. At this point, you got to tailor your solutions to the right application and really figure out who's going to give me the most value for that particular environment.
Great, thanks. And Steven, I know we're supporting you down in Latin America right now. It's very exciting. Tell us, was this a fanatical support extend down into Latin America?
Well, the Latin team, obviously, I live in Spain, and it's great to be, reach out in Spanish. And I think it's 2 or 3 years ago they created the team, and we were assigned with them as a dedicated support. The thing with Rackspace Fanatical Support is just like I said on the video, is they feel like part of your company. They just know, you know them by name. You can call them, they have 3 shifts. Whatever you need, they try to build on your strategy. The Latin team, being Latinos, well, they give you the Latino way, so it's a much closer way. The Fanatical Support Rackspace in general, it's awesome, but obviously.
And you may have answered my next question, but obviously proudly you've been a customer now for 12 years.
Yeah.
Very excited about that, but what's the secret to success? What's the recipe? I think you've given us a few of the ingredients already, but.
I think Rackspace is not about the product. You can get the product anywhere, and the same for AlertLogic. It's the fanatical support, this fanatical security. It's being able to count on them. We don't have to hire these people. We basically have 6,000 employees for a monthly fee, and you have experts that, for us, it would just basically be impossible to have that kind of expertise within our own company, and they're within reach. I just need to ask for it, and they'll be there.
Yeah.
Which is exactly the way Target got breached, right? The technology did its job. The alert was generated. Somewhere along the line, the human chain really broke down, right? So the alert never got to the right people, never got stopped. That service is really the missing link, and most of the security industry isn't delivering that level of service just yet.
Yeah. And how is AlertLogic's team changing to stay current, right? I mean, we talk about the need for technical talent and currency and a very quickly evolving threat. I mean, how does the AlertLogic team stay current?
We follow our customers. So you were talking about Latin America. We have a huge office in South America, and you probably haven't had a chance to speak to them yet, but we do have a lot of people down there. Same with UK. We have a security operations center there as well. But our approach is really to get them young, get them trained in security technologies. A lot of times, to really understand how attackers come after our customers, we have to really have them absorb a lot of fundamentals about security very quickly and really go deep into a couple of very distinct disciplines. Usually, these are young people that come out of college, and they go with AlertLogic kind of through every stage of their career. So we have people in our SOC that have been there for 10 years. We think that human layer is essential. Threat intelligence does its job, technology does its job, but that security operations center, that's irreplaceable. We don't anticipate ever replacing those humans with software.
Yeah, and it's that depth, that skill that allows us to partner with the Commerce Group and others to provide that level of support. So it's great to hear it firsthand. I know we had a very short time window, so again, appreciate everybody's attention. Great having you up here, Stephen and Misha. Thank you very much, and thank you all for your time.
Thank you.